And showtime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. A look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the ChannelPro Network and one of your hosts on this program. With me, as always, in this holiday week is my co-host Eric Simpson, a business improvement and transformation consultant for IT providers and MSPs. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Rich. I am getting ready for the 4th of July holiday. How about you, brother?
Same story. Yeah, I think we are recording this for folks who watch later on the 3rd of July. I think, like everybody, we are getting ready for a big holiday.
Fantastic. All right. So, Rich, we've been kind of in a compressed week here.
Yeah.
We're getting like you said, we're trying to do the newsworthy news on Wednesday before the 4th Thursday, and then we'll see what happens on Friday. But what have we got cooked up for our viewers today?
Well, our top story that we are going to dive into here concerns Breach Secure Now. And this has to do with something that they actually announced last week, I believe it was, and we really only got a chance to write about it because of all the news coming out of Datto at their DattoCon event this week. But it is worth talking about a little bit here. So Breach Secure Now, for folks who aren't familiar with them, kind of started out as a security awareness training provider. They had simulated anti-phishing campaigns that you could do. The business has been expanding in bits and pieces over the course of the last few years. They do dark web monitoring now. They do security risk assessments now. And what they've done recently is take all these different offerings along with some closely related services that they provide through sister brands, essentially. They have a HIPAA Secure Now brand that does a lot of this stuff specifically for healthcare providers. They've taken a lot of this stuff now and they've bundled it all up and put it together into a single offering with a single subscription price that they are calling their security as a service offering. And the idea basically is if you are an MSP and first of all, if you're just looking for an easy way to consume what Breach Secure Now does, you've got that now. But if you're looking to become a cybersecurity provider and looking for a relatively easy way to get started in that zone, this is designed to help you do that. It includes a number of different relevant cybersecurity kinds of services. You can add your own managed services to the package and sell it to your customer for a single rate. It's and I should say as well, it's not just a collection of services Breach Secure Now was providing before. There are some new things that they've tacked onto it as well. Most notably, you have the opportunity now through the security as a service offering to sell cyber insurance to your customers in $250,000, $500,000, and $1 million increments. And it's all kind of easy and laid out for you. And so this actually can kind of form the kernel or the foundation for a cybersecurity practice for an MSP. And it's just another kind of indication, of how important security is in our world, in the SMB channel right now. And also how many different companies are looking to help MSPs develop some kind of cybersecurity practice, because it's one thing to be doing the sort of security solutions that people have been doing before, and that's absolutely necessary, and everybody should be selling firewalls and antivirus. But there are bigger needs out there among SMBs and businesses really of every size, and bigger opportunities to offer higher margin businesses around cybersecurity. Breach Secure Now is the latest vendor to attempt to help MSPs do that.
Right. And I like your positioning of that product set from Breach Secure Now, Rich, as kind of the cornerstone to build a cybersecurity practice upon, because, you know, they really, and there's a couple of players in this space now that are doing the dark web scanning, the end user awareness training, which I think are really two super important components for lead gen and ongoing monitoring to protect business owners and their data, and also, you know, the largest attack opportunity, which is the end users, and training them on what you know, to look for in a suspicious phishing email attempt. Adding the cybersecurity risk insurance, I think, is the icing on the cake. Really, we've, I work with a lot of partners helping them build their cybersecurity practices, and it's always, the decision point is, okay, well, where do we source our cyber liability insurance from? And I think Breach Secure Now has made it super simple to engage with their provider to offer that service. And one of the things that I noted in the article that you wrote on this story was the ability for an end user now to click a button on an email that they find suspicious and say, analyze this. And instead of that going to the MSP or MSSP, my understanding is it is analyzed by the team at Breach Secure Now and taking that load off of the service provider. Did I get that right?
No, that's exactly right. And that feedback from Breach Secure Now is done on an automated basis. It's more or less immediate, as I understand it. So yeah, you're taking that burden off of the MSP. You're also providing that end user who has done the right thing, basically, by checking out the suspicious message to see if it really is a problem or not. You're getting them an immediate answer on that, so that if they are tempted to click the link, they will not do that without getting some guidance back to them, telling them that, yeah, actually, this is something that you might want to be cautious about.
So I think that's just another great unique value proposition that Breach Secure Now is offering its partners. Now we can take the load off of you, and we're also bringing that awareness in every email message to the end user. Do they want to have that message analyzed? So I think they're doing a lot of the right things for their partners, in my opinion.
So, Eric, if you've decided that you want to get into cybersecurity, first thing you've got to do is find the right tools for the job. Could be those tools are from Breach Secure Now, could be they're from somebody else, but your tip of the week has to do with finding the right tools.
It's all about the right tools, Rich. I mean, if you want to do a job and do a job properly, you need the right tools. I don't care what business you're in. If you're a Porsche mechanic, guess what? If you don't have the tools to do your job, you're not going to be very successful and effective, and make mistakes, cut corners, cost you money, tick off your clients. Could be the same for MSPs that don't have the right tools. So, this tip is really all about getting past the it's good enough, or I can make do with this. And I'm, speaking from recent experience working with, a couple of particular partners that have brought me in to help them transform their MSP practices, and to find out that, boy, they're not using some of the go-to platforms that we typically find in our industry. And there's a reason why these are the go-to tools. It's because they provide the functionality, the integration with other products, the reporting, the alerting, the escalation, the automation that you simply don't find in products or platforms that are more general purpose, or maybe even built for other industries. And the pushback I get when I bring these issues to light, well, I'm looking for specific data points that we can't get very easily from these tools because they're not built for our industry, to make it easy for us to analyze and improve performance and things like that. The pushback I get is, well, wow, that's going to take a lot of labor and effort to replace it. Yes, it is. But you're going to have to bite the bullet. If you want to be a successful, best-in-class business operator, whatever your vertical market is, you need to utilize the right tools to increase your efficiencies, increase the reporting and the data analysis for you, so that you can effectively grow that business more profitably. So, right tools for the right job. Can't believe I'm using that as the tip of the week this week, Rich.
It is, and this is a more common phenomenon than it really ought to be. There are plenty of MSPs out there, and other kinds of IT providers who are getting by with something that was maybe perfectly adequate for them when they were really just starting out, and now they've got potentially significant businesses, and they're still running on these entirely inadequate tools. There are a lot of reasons why that is probably holding you back. The reporting isn't the only one, but it's a really excellent example of the kind of issue that you run into. The old saying goes, and it's absolutely true: you can't manage what you don't measure. And if you're not using a first-rate, high-quality tool designed specifically for MSPs, you're not measuring the right stuff, or your measurements aren't complete, and you're just not running the business as efficiently as you could. So I mean, that alone is reason enough to make the investment, not just the financial investment, the time investment, and there is one, like you say, but it's really absolutely something you've got to do if you are in any way serious about succeeding in this business.
And the ROI will be pretty rapid. I mean, it will take some pain, time, effort, labor, and all of that. Yes, it's a distraction, but trust me, the results and the outcome will be worth it. And 2 months after you're done, you'll be going, wow, I can't believe we waited this long to do this.
So great advice. And, obviously we're talking RMM, we're talking PSA. You see, the tool categories are obvious enough. These are the systems you and your techs live in on a day-to-day basis, and you just need to be using really good stuff and not trying to get by with the equivalent of a spreadsheet. Well, we have got time for just one more story this week on the 5-minute roundup, and here we are right on the verge of the 4th of July. So why not that perennial favorite here in Media Land? Let's talk a little bit about 4th of July statistics. So first of all, boy, how much money do you think Americans are going to spend on beer tomorrow? Well, I happen to have that with me right here. $1 billion. Americans will spend $1 billion just on beer tomorrow on the 4th of July. And in fact, if you factor wine into that, it goes all the way up to 1.6 billion. But the $1 billion figure is kind of interesting, Eric, because that also happens to be roughly the amount of money that Americans are going to spend on fireworks tomorrow. And I cannot tell you how much they're going to spend on finger reattachment surgery, combining fireworks and beer, but I got to believe that that's not going to be a trivial bill as well. How about this? Americans will spend $6.7 billion on hot dogs, hamburgers, and other picnic provisions tomorrow. And that is actually down a little bit from last year's figure. And do you want to guess? You may have looked at this already before the show. Do you want to guess how many hot dogs Americans are projected to eat tomorrow?
I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise, Rich. Go ahead.
How about 150 million hot dogs just tomorrow?
Yeah, I tell you what, the matched pairing of $1 billion each for beer and fireworks can make for rather interesting outcomes.
Enjoy the 4th of July safely, people. And thank you for joining us in the 5-minute roundup. If you like the show and would like to see future episodes, maybe catch up on some episodes you missed in the past, the easiest thing to do is go to the ChannelPro Network channel on YouTube and sign up for that. There's a little bell icon, as I understand it, you need to click on these days to get notifications about upcoming episodes, so you want to do that too. You want to read more about Breach Secure Now and what they're up to these days, and all sorts of other things going on in the industry, business growth tips for you. The place to go is channelpronetwork.com. That is our homepage. We have got great new content going up there for you every day. To learn more about Eric and the services that he provides to his clients, the place to go is ericsimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. That is all the time we've got for you on the 5-minute roundup this week. We will be back again next week with another episode. Until then, enjoy the 4th of July. Enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.